wanted you guys to see this. This is Washington State. I've been driving in this for miles already. And you can see up ahead, there's a lot more of nothing. I mean, it looks awesome, but there's nothing. Just a whole lot of nothing everywhere. Just amazing. This is the only place I've ever been that's like this. Just miles and miles and miles of road with nothing on it. I mean, yeah, okay, there's something up that way. There's a little garage and stuff down here. That's literally the first thing I've seen for probably 20 minutes of driving. And then more of nothing. I'll bet you these people are so happy. Don't have to worry about anything or anybody. Looks like I got them a few old vehicles up on the hill up there. Might be where you find you some gems. Because you know stuff don't rust out here like it does everywhere else, because they don't have salt on the roads here. At least not as far as I know. Got a lot of tumbleweeds. I guess this is where the deserty places start. What I'm trying to do, I flew into Spokane last night and then drove to my first job in Idaho. And I can't even think of what the name of the place is now. But did the job, left. No hotel there because the airline screwed me so bad. I'll get into that in a minute. But left the hotel and decided I'm going to my hotel in Meridian. As I was leaving, the data cable guys told me, "So you're gonna drive all that way with no sleep?" I said, "What do you mean all that way?" They said, "Well, that's a 5.5 hour drive." I said, "We'll see." So far, they're pretty on track. Because I left at, I want to say 5:20. 5:20, 5:30, somewhere in there. 3 hours into nothing. And this guy's gonna think I'm a complete weirdo. Of course, he's got that whole Hank Jr. beard thing going on too, so to each his own. But look, nothing. Everywhere, nothing. Just awesome. I mean, for lack of a better word, it is awesome to just be out here in the middle of nothing and there be miles and miles of nothing except the occasional scattered farm or something like that. Adopt the highway. Somebody needs to adopt this little bastard. Wow. It's got to be lonely. Oh, somebody orphaned a stupid thing. I'd say it's been adopted a few times and then orphaned again. Because it don't look like much grows out here except tumbleweeds. You can see them right there off the side of the road. Now, there's a big old something or another out in the middle of the field. Looks like a granary. I'd venture to say a man in a fairly fast car could probably stay himself out of a lot of trouble by just pushing the gas pedal a little further down out here. As long as you weren't out trying to outrun the radio, you'd be good. Because you can never outrun the radio. Trust me, I found that one out the hard way long ago. I don't know if that's a granary or what it is exactly. That's what it looks like. But it's, oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff over that way. I think we found the end of the rainbow, so to speak. But it's still amazing that there's so much nothing out here like this. People that live out here probably think I'm stupid for being amazed at all this, but where I'm at, there's stuff everywhere. I'm not used to seeing this kind of thing. All this land that people are actually farming or just own and don't do anything with. See, all that's been farmed or being farmed. And they've already had snow out here. Oh, the name of the town I couldn't remember a minute ago was Cordeloo, Idaho. And it's right next door to Spokane, so that's where I landed finally last night. To get to my story, I want to say 8 different times I've gotten on planes in Nashville. And 8 different times my tools went through without question. I was able to carry them on and just as a carry-on bag, and no problems arise because of it. This time, they said, oh no, you can't have that. It's like, well, why can't I? It's against the rules. I said, whose rules? I guess it's the national rule for TSA. I said, well then why does your Nashville website say that you can have carry-on tools as long as your lithium batteries are stored in a manner where they won't short out? And that's a direct quote from the site. So why would your site say that if you can't have them? Well, I don't know, we'll have to look into that, but you can't take these. Really? So we walked out of security, out to the main office. Granted, they had already checked everything I owned. And by then I was kind of frustrated, to say the very least. Not to mention, after dealing with that garbage at TSA, then I go out to Delta ticket counter. The second time I've had to deal with Delta, and the second time I got the exact same treatment. I am not a happy camper. The black women that work the Delta ticket counters, every dang one of them should be fired. Every one of them. Because I've not met one yet that has any customer service skills whatsoever. They got a job and a title, so they're going to make your life hell because of it, and talk down to you like they're better than you. I guarantee you I make more than any of them do. I don't see none of them walking around with a corporate card they can charge these stupid flights and stuff on. Don't see any of them rolling around in a company car. Of course, this ain't a company car either. This is a rental because of having to fly. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. And it's not that I dislike them for any specific reason other than they're just being ignorant. Anyway. I figured this would start letting up a little bit once we got this far out, but it doesn't. Just more and more and more of nothing. Quiet, peaceful, nothing. Anyhow, I'm gonna go. Dang, that's a prison. One of the largest prisons I think I've ever seen. Didn't get my camera out in time. I didn't realize what it was until I was almost clear past it. Idaho, and then back to more nothing. That's why I almost missed it. I was rolling. I wonder if this is the community that came from the big old prison being back there, or if this is just a farming community that happens to be near a prison. Got a hotel. Gotta watch that. Fairly decent little town. Or decent size, I meant. It off to where it'll grow back more fertile next year. This is the third field I've seen like this. Look at this. Mile upon mile of bird field. this is farm property, so I can understand them doing it out here. But what's to say they light this up like they do, and the wind takes an ember or something and blows it off somewhere else, then the whole place goes up. Freshly burnt. Looks like there might be some more burning over there. Roll that ammonia hole up. For some reason I just got goosey bumps. Goosebumps in a long time. Must be getting close to a town. There's finally cars on this road. Excuse me. This is not the kind of road that I would want to go down in a gas hog truck. Nice little ravine back there. Almost looks like a little mini Grand Canyon. Look at that. Big old ravine. Wonder if that is an old mining property. I'd say these have been around for a while. I think I can safely say that without too much repercussion from it. I would be completely stupid not to use this pull-off. To videotape this scenery. This is beautiful. Maybe I'm just a sucker for a good pull off or something. I don't know. Kind of weird how that little patch of trees is the only thing really growing in this whole vast area of stuff. Other than ragweeds and not sure what that is. I'm sure there's historical markers and that sort of thing all over the place here, but there's no way I was not gonna pull off for this. It's just too awesome to not do it. Look, it goes on forever. I got a feeling this road goes on down. It does. This road just follows the whole base of this all the way down. Yeah, because that semi truck that just passed us is right there and still going. That's exactly what this does. This meanders all the way through these hills. Now I'm kind of upset because I really feel like this is leading me around in a circle and nowhere near towards where I want to be. But what's that over there? Oh, another road. Looks like a tow truck. I can't hold it still enough. Probably somebody that knows this area better than anybody. He's just sitting there looking for people to pick off the people to catch to tow or something out on this road. There's another one. Not a tow truck, but they're probably just out fishing for the day. I wonder what the story about all this is. Kind of majestic to look at all this stuff, but you know, all this time you can't even hear this car running. Dang! That truck had 2 turbos on the front fenders. One on each side. That was cool. I've never seen that before. I'm trying to see what that is. Can't really tell. Looks like somebody shot a huge arrow and stuck it right in the top of the rock. That's a pretty steep climb that I won't be making. But anyway, I'm playing tourist. I just couldn't help but play tourist when I saw all this. bunch more nothing, but it's a lot of really neat nothing to look at. All right, back on the road. My GPS just put a sign up on it that says welcome to Oregon. So I've been through Idaho, Washington State, and now Oregon today. And hopefully, if this thing's not steering me completely out into the nethers, I'll be back in Oregon here in just a little bit. Of course, it is almost 10 o'clock in the morning. It looks like it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, according to the way the sun's shining down on everything. Kind of giving me a weird sense of direction and throwing my internal clock way off. And if I don't come up to something something tangible real soon, other than more wilderness, I'm gonna start freaking out because I'm down to half a tank of gas and I'm following the stupid GPS. See? I'll report back more later. You ever get the idea that your GPS is just running you around in circles out in the middle of nothing for no apparent reason? I just did. I actually had to stop and maneuver the map around where I could see where the heck this stupid thing's taking me, because I'm out in the middle of nothing in a car that thankfully sips gas, trying to get to my hotel outside Noma, Idaho, and look where it's taking me. There ain't jack around here. I mean nothing. New definition of nothing. Holy crap. I thought we had nothing a while ago for miles. There's a house there, house way over there, and nothing else. A couple houses over there, a few buildings. Maybe I'd be smarter or farther ahead to just scoot down that way and see if they've got gas. Because it does seem to be like a small town there. I'm sure there's at least one gas station there. But no. This says continue on 3.2 miles, take a left. It's really hard to trust GPS when it takes you out in places like this. And I know it knows better because it's using all the maps and everything, but wow. I'm just freaking out because I'm out in the middle of nowhere with no way for anybody to know where the heck I'm at or to be able to come and get me if something happens. And right about now, I'm real thankful. And that's all just houses. There's no retail anything over that way. Nothing. I'm just real thankful that this time my company actually got me a gas sipping little crap box car. Why's everybody got coats on? It ain't cold. Everybody's walking around with coats and jackets. I'm here in a short sleeve shirt. Don't bother me a bit. Well, at least it's green here, not just brown and gray like everywhere else. .8 miles to my left turn onto 84 East. 30 East and 295 South. No clue. Just starting to freak out a little bit. I know it ain't even 11 o'clock in the morning, but I wanted to get to my hotel and get some rest before I have to get back up and go do it again. Actually, I think today may be my day off. I'm not sure. Have to check my itinerary. Sure could use that excavator or that backhoe, either one. It's a long way to haul it to get it back home, though. They're out on the doggone west coast of the country, and we're over on the east middle, nowhere near the coast. Wow. Okay, here's some faster moving highway or street or whatever. And some commercial stuff. So I believe, before I get stuck on stupid, if there's a gas station up here, I'm gonna stop and put some gas in this thing. Because even though it says, holy crap, 3 hours, you gotta be joking. 3 hours from here to get to my hotel. I could have traveled the whole stinking state in 3 hours. God, I hate this GPS some days. And yeah, there's a truck stop and some gas stations up here, so yeah, especially with it being 3 more hours, I'm definitely gonna go get me some gas. I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the scenery and all. It was gorgeous. But I'm not here to sightsee. I'm here to take my butt to the hotel and get some sleep. Not pictures of pretty scenery. I mean, since I was there, I did, but That's not my main goal here. Main goal is to rest and get ready for tonight or tomorrow night. This is just dumb. And so it continues. Desolate place on earth, Oregon. And to top it off, you can't even pump your own gas here, and the roads are awful. Of course, this car's not the best in the world either, but trying to find some non-droney spots in the road since I don't have any royalty-free music to play. Look out there. Can't believe this stupid thing took me this route. There's got to be a shorter way. Matter of fact, I know there's a shorter way. It just did not take us that way. My shorter way was straight down through the center of the state, which is what it showed on the GPS originally. I put the hotel address in and it's taken me like 8 doggone hours out of the way, which wouldn't be so bad except for the fact I need sleep. I'm not all about this desolate landscape like this. It's a nice house up on the hill up there. But in its own way, it's kind of pretty. One thing I'm starting to see a lot of, there's a lot of trash around on the sides of the highways. Looks like we need to get all them prisoners out of that huge prison and bring them out here and clean up the sides of the road. And it ain't like they got anywhere to go. They decide to take off running. One you could shoot somebody from 2 miles away and still probably not hit anything but them. nothing for days. God. I don't know what this big monstrosity is. Probably another granary. Also known as a big mouse house or a rat house, because that's usually what gets in there. Must be doing pretty good. He's got a couple brand new trucks. And those things are not cheap. This kind of reminds me of a dry dead version of Kansas. The roads sound like a doggone rocket trying to take off. I'm not realizing I'm out past Colorado. I'm in Oregon State, for Pete's sake. It's just not clicking where I'm at and why we're seeing the mountains like we are. Wow, look at all the solar array. Guess that's one way to save on electricity. I'd hate like crazy to pay their installer bill though. Holy cow. You gotta have like a 18-inch sewer drain or bigger to run all that wire. It's a good use of property though. As it is, taking us right back into these stinking mountains. Semi-truck's got a little bit of a problem going on, it looks like. I'm smelling raw diesel like crazy. Not sure what he's hauling, but I'm pretty sure it's not raw diesel. Why the heck do they do this? Put cones out and they're not even working. Never did get that. .2 miles, no restrooms. The weeds are changing. Tennessee, we got the Tennessee and Kentucky, we got the colors of the leaves. Here it's the colors of the weed. Or weeds. any other day, I would not mind it a bit. But today, the fact that it's been 2 days since I've had any rest, this is not cool. Let's see what their viewpoint is. I'm not staying, I'm just pulling in to see what's what. That because I'm tired of sitting in this stinking car. Oh, good Lord. Alright. Well, just like in the car. Miles and miles and miles of nothing. Kind of cool looking, but nothing. You can't really make anything out. Alright, let's see what the old placard says. Oregon Scenic Highways. Magnificent view is preserved and protected by the efforts of the Oregon Roadside Council, which initiated and secured the passage of the Oregon Scenic Areas Act in 1961. 61? Yeah, 61. 3,585 scenic miles. Oh God, I hope I don't have to drive through all that. Of highways were surveyed and selected by the council and adopted by the state scenic area board. More than 7,000 signs and billboards which detracted and obscured scenic vistas were removed. Oregon Roadside Council, organized in 1932 by the Oregon State Federation of Garden Clubs, is a volunteer group dedicated to the preservation and conservation of Oregon's greatest asset, her scenic beauty. Okay, so that's sandstone. Let's just take a little step out here. And for starters, let's appreciate this little scenery. Oh, doggone it, can't even walk. Dang. And there's where we just came from, down there. This would probably be real neat to look at it from the air too. Just thinking. Oh, I gotta get back in the car. I came, I saw, and now I got to go. Just saw a sign that says this is Dead Man Pass. Rest area. Great. Thought that was a little interesting, but evidently not. Like a couple of good places where you can set up some ambushes. All kinds of places you can set up ambushes. Yeah, that's how I think. beat the clock. Every time I stop, this thing says it's going to take 3 hours and 200 miles all over again. So I'm really not trusting the GPS at the moment. Again. See, I kind of like the idea of the history of these places, but it doesn't really, I mean, unless you do research in museums or local stuff, libraries or whatever, you don't really know what the actual history and meaning or story behind the name actually is. I mean, Dead Man Pass is kind of a no-brainer. You can pretty much figure that one out. It's just a choke point and think of the word. Choke point and a good place, an ambush. So, not real hard to piece that one together just based on the title of the place. And I guess that's it for the Dead Man's Pass. I'll cut it back on if I run across something else interesting.